Hi guys and girls, it's Pete, Mindwiseman's channel, aka Maverick Outdoors. And today's Sunday the 24th of November 2013, and I'm on my last leg, our last little session prepping for terrain conditioning and all that for the Brecon Beacon's wild camp. Not long to go now, but this is the final sort of little objective where I've come out for about, it's going to be a 10-mile trek. Returning to the Wayfarer's Walk, where I come quite often, and as I've said many times before, a lot of you will recognise. But I've got my multi-pocket SMOCK on today, and I'm actually wearing all my kit, my MRE, my sit mat, bits and pieces, bits and bobs, all in the pockets. But more about that in a little while. Okay, I come up to one of the highest points. As I say, some of you will recognise this. I actually featured this point about 20 odd videos ago when I was up here, one of the many times. You can see the sky's getting overcast. The camera can't really pick it up, but along there it's quite sort of a misty haze, so that means a very light rain. I did actually walk through some of it coming up here, which has been about just 1.5 miles to 2 miles so far. But I'm going to endeavour to go beyond the Iron Age fort, where I did the previous video checking out the mountain tent a week or so ago, and I want to endeavour to trek past that and then go down a slope, sort of southbound towards two small woods. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to strike up an MRE with a self-heating bag, a sort of chemical reaction with the water, put 40 ml of water in the bag. But I'm going to try it out with one of the MREs that I'm going to take with me when I do Brecon, not long to go. As I walk down this path, there's quite a steep slope going down there, with sort of brush and small trees growing out of it, and in the past I've sort of scrambled up and down it, holding on to the trees, and just basically climbing up and down the slope, which is good fun, but it's just somewhere over there. So obviously I've got all this, it's sort of sloping down like that, and I've got all this terrain to take when I've come back, and I'm not even sort of a quarter of the way there yet. But there you can sort of see that slope down there. I'll just meander, we can get a closer look. But it's pretty steep, it ain't rucksack trailing at all. But you can see it's like a pretty steep angle. He says nearly slipping. But hopefully you can see the terrain. And that actually leads to a road. But I say the slope is literally like that. But anyway, let's get back up here and back to where I'm going. You can see I've taken, well, previously I had my grey woolly hat on, but I get hot very easily, so for me it's better to, as I get warm, sort of take the layers off. I've only got a Norgie underneath this with what I call my sweat rack down my back. It's like a little microfiber hand towel that's mainly for wiping windscreens, but I found it really useful. It's about 2 foot, just under 2 foot by about a foot wide, and I use it as a sweat rag, basically wipe the old perspiration off. I stuck it down my back so it absorbs any perspiration that my body makes, so that when I cool down I can take it away, and then my Norgie, the back surface of my Norgie, this green shirt, isn't damp and it doesn't give me the chill factor, because obviously I cool down perspiration if it's still soaked into your clothing. There's the rest of the slope and the terrain. Maybe one day I'll go somewhere right over there. MREs on legs. Multi-use. Just over there you can see the terrain. I've sort of come up and down there. It's a bit close up, a bit more of a close up version. You can sort of see it, those trees, that slope just there. That's the area I was talking about, which I've sort of scrambled up and down in recent years. But you can see all the terrain, it's so much nicer view here. You can see it a little bit better. You can see it a little bit better and a sort of different angle than when I'm actually on the Iron Age fort. Okay, so I'm just over halfway, nearly 2/3 towards the Iron Age fort. But just a little word really about, you know, the inclement weather. I mean, I don't know if you can see that. But there's a bird of prey right in the centre of shot. I mean, it mostly looks like a bit of dust flying about. It's going horizontally across. Yeah, I think it's a bit of a better shot. Not sure what it is. I can't see the definition of the colours, the undercarriage of the wings or body, but anyway. But there's just something endearing about being in inclement weather, for me anyway. It's as if, you know, the weather is great on a sunny day, brilliant, more things to do, summertime, things have come to life, wildlife, what have you. But there's something endearing about, you know, the autumn and winter and coming out in the cold with the right kit, you know, being safe, making sure that you're prepped for what you're going to do. And the trees, you know, once they've lost their foliage, you can see all the structure and the shape. And I mean, how is that defying gravity? Come around the other side of it. One is obviously, as you can see, is broken off there, but this one is just limbering down, and it will still, in the spring and the summer, sprout leaves. But in the different seasons, you know, nature talks to you. Well, it talks to me anyway. It says, "You're really mad. What are you doing out here? It's going to pour down rain in a minute. And we're going to give you thunder and lightning. But we appreciate your interest." And now the sort of breeze, I can just feel it's just sort of kicked up. It's coming, bearings from where I was, coming sort of east to west. Sort of a slight chill factor. It's not uncomfortable, but just that feeling, you know, just makes you feel you're alive. It's nice to be out in the sun. Makes you feel you're alive. You get all hot and flustered and you're doing something physical. But just also being out in all the different weathers, as I say, with the right kit. For me, that's what it's all about. And plus as well, you get the bonus, if you like a little bit of solitude and being on your Jack Jones, Cockney rhyming slang, on your owns. For those that are not British viewers don't understand, Jack Jones, being on your own, or the phrase on your jack means I'm on my jack, I'm on my Jack Jones, I'm on my owns. And there's less people around, so you've got it to yourself. And I know when I come actually trekking back, when I leave the woods, it's going to be dark. Hopefully I can get a few shots, you know, doing my MRE before it gets really dusky and I can pick up the shots on the camera. But I know when I come back, the whole trek's going to be in the dark. And for me, I just like that. Anyway, let's trudge on. That's where I've got to get to. I'm approaching the Iron Age fort now, which is just up there, about another, just over 200 metres. Okay, as you can see, I've now arrived at the Iron Age fort, and just over there is where I normally sit. On the other side of that tree Here's where I pitched up the tent the other week to do a trial run with it. But I'm going to continue to go westbound. But before it gets dark, I might not be able to actually film and get some of the spec of how I've kitted up my jacket. So I'm just going to give a brief spec on it. Okay, I'm not going to give you a spec necessarily on the actual jacket. I'm just going to show you what I put in it really. As you see, I've got my hat on now still. It's cooling down a bit. It's a bit breezy on the peak here, exposed to the wind. So I'm going to take a bit of a head on. But that's where my hat was. Another pocket there's for my camera and other bits and pieces. Got the 1 litre canteen in there. But around the rear is a massive, great long pocket around the back of the waist. Then there's another side pocket that I've got my flask in there with about ½ litre of tea. In here, gloves, first aid kit, other sundries there. I've got a D-ring just inside there with then a carabiner which fixes onto the D-ring. Carabiner with my 2 sets of keys, house keys and car key on the carabiner, and then actually fixed onto, as you can see, the D-ring. And so I'll do a better spec of this another day. But if I turn it inside out, there's a poacher's bag on the inside round your back and waist. And inside I've got my MRE in there, box I made to put it in for when the chemical reaction with the plastic bag where I fill it up with the water. And then my butt mat to sit on, plus as well I've got a bin liner bag just as a sort of small bag I've got my hand around. And if I needed to, I could actually pack that up with all sort of dry grass or this sort of thing as padding to sit on or lie down on if I needed to as a last resort. And I've got a space blanket, thermal blanket. So basically, you know, there's about 14 pockets on that, but maybe at a later date I'll do a bigger spec on it. Anyway, I'm going to don it back on now. Okay, I've got to do a bit of a I'll go straight over there, and there's a slope that goes down to the woods where you can just see over the brow of that edge. So now I've gone from west and I'm now going down south. Okay, so thanks for joining me on this little trail trek so far. A little baby cairn, well it's really a flintstone marker for sort of like a focal point of where one path diverges off there, or else I'll just continue to keep going southbound into those woods over there or over there. I say thanks for joining us so far. It's just sort of the last vid really before doing the Brecon Beacons weekend, and it's just sort of the endurance of a long walk up and down, uphill, down Lee, and then just getting into the mindset. I haven't done MREs with you know, the chemical reaction bags, adding a touch of water, leave it for 8 to 12 minutes to heat up. I haven't done one of those in absolutely ages. So, and then using the box that I made myself. So yeah, it's just to be outside as well, because I guarantee it, odds on the weather's going to be far more inclement than here, where it's starting to get a little bit more overcast and grey. But that's all part of it. So once again, I'm going to soldier on. Welcome back. Kept you warm in my chest pocket, my little zipper chest pocket. I'm walking like some blinking ballerina here on this tyre track, sort of pigeon steps. Alright, I think what I'll do is I'll come over here, but you can see it's getting very dusky now. Not just with the cloud cover, but it's naturally getting dark. It's 4:30 in the afternoon and evening, and within the next half hour it's not going to be that visible to film. So what I'll do is I'll try and get some stills. Well, I'll do some stills of knocking up the MRE, which is a vegetarian noodle and tomato with sort of reconstituted vegetarian type meat in it. I'm not vegetarian, just got it because I got a good deal on a pack of 6. I've tried one already at home. Tastes nice, but as I say, I've yet to try it with the chemical water reaction heater. So, but that little wood over there is where I'm going to make my way to and do the do's. Okay, I'm coming into the edge of the woods now, but I just saw a small infant fox just charge straight out across there and then go legging it off round there, and then a pheasant has just jumped up there. So yeah, I think there's going to be some other things in nature besides the weather to keep me company. Even if I can't see them, it'll be the noises. But I mean, it's the camera can't pick it up, but it's the woods are in there. Looks like some nice places actually to, from when I recorded it all about a year and a half, 2 years ago. First time I actually came along this bit was about 5 years ago. As I say, the camera won't pick it up now, and I've got my floodlight to sort of film anything. So I'm going to go into the foliage now. Once I see a good space and an interesting part to go and park my butt on. Okay folks, I've just come in through the woods over there and sort of come down this bit. Some big old trees around. Just see a little bit of silhouette above me. But there's, and I knew this from previous, but as I walked in, a whole flurrying of pheasants all flew out the trees, and I know this is an actual pheasant beating place. You can see some containers which are eventually used to feed them. There's a feed box there. Duck underneath some deadwood. Flurry and pheasant just went by. But I'll just see if there's a bit more picturesque type open space. Big old tree. You may be able to hear some of the pheasants. I should have actually had the camera on as I was actually coming in, but for safety I just wanted to see what I was doing. But you'd have heard and seen the rustle, and I would actually definitely would have caught the silhouettes of them all flying about up there. As you can see, it's a mixture of types of trees, from broadleaf, small shrub type trees, to some upright type pines. Here we go, on call. Pheasantville, welcome to Pheasantville. I think we just missed that. It sounded like about half a dozen pheasants over there, flurrying them out of the trees. But I'm going to go a bit further down here. Anyway, there was one. Welcome to Pheasantville, Pheasantwood. Okay, I've just checked round for any widowmakers, any dead wood that could fall. As you can see there, some broken branches, and just along here there's like a pine tree that's fallen all the way along, but actually it's quite secure, because what I'll do is I'll put the sit mat on there, and as it is, it's just about the right level to comfortably sit while I have my food. So I'm going to set it up now and get some calories down my throat. Okay, so I'll just put my hood over the top of my knitted hat, because there's a little bit of a breeze just on this little bit of the angle, so it sort of keeps the breeze out from the side of my face and my neck, so that's nice and cosy. And just waiting for that to heat up straight away, so I reckon that's going to take about another good sort of 10 minutes now, even though it's been prepped and put in the box from about 5 minutes ago. So anyway, warm food's on the way. Yummy. So I'm sitting with that little mat on the tree log, and just having a little bit of a chill sit down, and there's the flask there, which has got a nice hot tea in it. There's a canteen with the water, which had about just under a litre, so I've used some of the water there for the process of the heating pouch for the MRE, and also some to take sips of, so I knew there was going to be enough for what I needed. And then just here I've got some biscuits, and just there is a from a well-known fast food which has got a nice sort of sweet curry flavour, so I'll add that to the MRE noodles, tomato based flavoured noodles. Oh yeah, and the box that I've put the MRE in, as you can see, it's got a load of sort of gaffer sticky sealing tape all over it, and basically that was a box that I got some beef jerky, about 10 packs of dried beef jerky, so I'd sort of cut a sort of corner and worked out the sort of size that I'd need to put the MRE pouch in, and then just sealed it sort of around the side. And underneath there you can see, just simply sort of folded it into itself, cut it out of the box, and then just made it to shape. So did the job, and it's doing the job. Bring it on. Okay guys and girls, I'm making my way out now. So it's quite a dark night. Especially with the overcast clouds. But now I'm just going to make my way over there. So I've just come to the edge of the woods now, and I'm more out in the open. So, as always, thanks for joining me. Bit of a chin wag, walk and talk. And now the next video I'll see you on is when I do Brecon Beacons, when I mount in tent on one of the lees of Penifan. And then the next night with my mate Mountain Goat Dave in the woods and tarping it up, and hopefully we can get a campfire going. Right, so I'm off for a trek back in the dark, which is going to be nice. I like that, the solitude, the darkness, no one else is going to be around. The temperature's certainly dropped now, I'd say a couple of degrees at least, and if it wasn't for the cloud cover that's been over during the day and keeping whatever warmth that was naturally around in Earth's atmosphere, so if it was for the cloud cover, I think it'd be very frosty, because it has been when there hasn't been cloud cover over the past week or so. So I'm keeping all the layers on, because I don't think I'm going to get on the fluster, that's for sure. Plus as well, this afternoon and evening is getting my mindset even more ready, even though I know the terrain, I know what the temperature and what it's going to be like this time of year up Brecon Beacons, but it's just giving me that sort of more tactile feel from being out today. Final thing, and then I can recuperate for the next few days, a little bit of stretch, but nothing overexertive, so by the time I've sort of recharged my batteries. So considering the recuperation levels, you know, my energies will be nice and stored, ready for the weekend, ready for when I do Brecon Beacon, so all good stuff. Anyway, let's get back on it. Anyway, thanks for joining us, and I'll catch up with you in another video soon. Cheers, take care.